Welcome back as we continue live with number one Cochran Sports Showdown right here on KDKA TV. We're still talking about the Steelers, who came off a disappointing loss at home, as you know, 17-10 tonight to the Buffalo Bills, who have things going their way. The Steelers still find themselves in a 6th seed. Same record as Tennessee, and the Titans have the Saints, and the Titans have the Texans again. So that'll be interesting to see how it works out. And if Baltimore clinches the number 1 seed, then, you know, in the last game of the year, who knows what can happen. But let's go over to you, Jason Mackey, and let's just start with the fact that there still is an opportunity, but I want to go beyond that. If they get in, most likely now it'll be a trip to Kansas City and Pat Mahomes as the opposition, where I think the defense could handle themselves maybe in that. They're still going to give up points. Can the Steelers go there and win with this offense in any shape that they have it?
I mean, not the way it looked today. I feel pretty good about the Steelers' chances still getting into the playoffs, and that's great. I think the Jets are beatable. I think it'll probably be a meaningless game the final week of the season. But, I mean, let's look at this from 30,000 feet, and where are the Steelers right now? And, you know, I don't want to be overly negative, but right now Mason Rudolph hasn't played in a stretch of time. Duck Hodges looks like he's crashed down back to earth. I question the solidity, I don't know, is that a word, of Randy Fichtner's game plan and some other stuff. I mean, the defense
sanity of his game plan.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Consistency, I think you used a word like that earlier, Chris. I like that. But, I mean, is this an elite offense? I don't even know if this is a competent offense.
The blueprint for going into Kansas City and winning a football game the way they would need to. And I actually don't think Hodges is as bad as he showed tonight. I think this was a perfect storm of a guy against the first real defense with teeth that he's ever seen for a full game that could game plan for him, just having a kind of game you might expect. The blueprint was when Indianapolis went in there against Kansas City with Jacoby Brissett, who's considerably better and more advanced than Hodges, but they were down a lot of people on both sides of the ball, and they went in and won a slugfest. That's the Steelers' only shot. And Kansas, as great as Buffalo's defense is, Kansas City's nowhere close. So if you're like basing all of your expectations on can they win a playoff game, well, you're not going to see another defense that looks like the one you saw tonight unless you see that team again, and I'm including New England when I say that. So can they? Yes. Do I feel good betting about it? No.
I think they have no chance of going into Kansas City and winning if this is that.
No chance.
None. Zero. I mean, here's the thing, especially if Patrick Mahomes.
A chance of everything.
Okay, well, I give him 0.01%. How about that? Here's the thing. If Patrick Mahomes, and he now looks healthy, he looks like he's back. He's found his fastball again. He's doing things that, you know, are just you can't coach or teach. And to me, there's no way the Steelers could score enough points against the Chiefs. And you know what? The Chiefs' defense isn't great, but it's much better than it was last year. I think everyone is basing on what they saw last year. They did actually make it a little bit better. They can stop people now a little bit. They can turn people over a little bit. I think this would be the classic, I don't know, Chiefs like 30, Steelers 10 type game. So, no, I don't think they could go there and win.
You don't think the Steeler defense could, you know, at least contain them a little bit to keep it a ball game?
I think they could contain them for a little bit. I think they could contain them for a little bit, but you know how it is when the offense keeps giving the ball back to a guy like Patrick Mahomes, eventually he breaks their spirit.
All right, I want to ask you guys next, start with you, Chris Muller, about what we saw with New England. Now, this came out this past week. Bill Belichick, of course, downplayed it, said there was nothing to it whatsoever. The league showed, that videotape. It's been on social media if you haven't seen it. So I'm wondering, what do you think should happen next, Chris?
I think there's going to be like a plausible deniability thing that gets thrown around, and Belichick has already sort of telegraphed that move by saying, hey, I don't involve myself with these guys. I got no idea. Their incompetence is their incompetence. I don't see any of that. But you know what? In college sports, rightly or wrong, they like to use the old lack of institutional control phrase when they want to throw around a way to get a head coach if they think they know but are kind of shielding themselves. That's what I'd essentially say here. Do you expect us to be complete idiots and think you don't know? Punishments in order.
And it doesn't matter if it's tied to Bill Belichick, right? Like, this is a New England Patriots problem. I don't care if Bill Belichick knew.
Yeah, but he's on top of it. He knows everything in there, doesn't he? I mean, he's ahead of the
Make them ineligible for the playoffs. That's how you handle this stuff.
That's severe.
That is what I would do.
Could the Steelers beat them if they weren't eligible?
I still think the Patriots would win.
All right, interesting stuff there.
Still think they'd win even if they weren't in it. But go ahead.
Now, we got to move on, and let's go around the horn for this week's Smooth Moves, brought to you by Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you're going to find. That would be Armina Stone. So the smoothest moves of the week. And we'll start with you, Paul Zeiss, top of the line.
It's real simple for me. I mean, Chris's guy, Tiger Woods, and his team winning the President's Cup, coming from behind. Tiger was 3-0 in his 3 matches. It was a thing of beauty to watch all of those international guys crying in their tea.
I'm going hockey for mine. Can either be Jim Rutherford or every other general manager in the National Hockey League. But this offseason, Rutherford tried to trade Tristan Jarry, couldn't get anything good for him. Jim pulled him back. Look what Jarry's doing right now. Every other GM looks pretty dumb.
I'm going with Patrick Reed's caddy. I mean, what he did was totally out of line, but man,
Golf, it's December.
man, who wouldn't want to have a guy willing to disqualify themselves from a huge international event just because someone said something mean about you?
And he did. He went right at it, and he paid the price. All right, those are the smooth moves brought to you by Armina Stone, Pittsburgh's largest supplier of the smoothest granite, marble, and quartz countertops you're going to find anywhere. Score a touchdown right now with Armina Stone. When we come back, Penguins and Pirates talk. That's next.